Hello, my friends. Welcome to this podcast about knitting and about the fiber arts. My name is Doug and I'm coming to you from Albuquerque in New Mexico. And yes, it's been a while, and most of you will know that I was in a severe car accident, and I did want to thank you for reaching out. I got so many messages, so many kind and sweet and thoughtful messages, and that really meant a lot because that was so traumatic, and to feel the love from people who don't even know me personally, that really meant a lot. Like the messages on YouTube, as well as the messages that I had gotten, like real letters and postcards from you out there. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It made the world of a difference. Yes, in the meantime, I am healing. I'm still sitting on a pile of cushions like the Princess of the Bee. And I try to stay active, but it's hot in New Mexico, so I have not really been out walking as I should, but that's okay. It's all happening in due time. I do find myself being at times, and I don't want to go into details about everything that happened and the impact it had, but I did want to mention that I feel a certain kind of like a brain fuzziness where I have a hard time focusing, and I blame it on my head injury here, even though of course all airbags were deployed around us. But I am my husband is back to driving the car, which is awesome, and I haven't been driving yet, but hopefully I can ease back into a normal life soon. And that's all that I wanted to say, but please forgive me if I am a little bit spaced out at times. I mean, I'm always kind of like a little bit spaced out, but right now it may be a little bit more. So much about that. And I have, because I couldn't do anything and my life is so boring and I'm at home all the time, it has been not boring in regards to my makings. And while I was before, when I recorded the last episode, I was a little bit like kind of like all over the place. I wanted to make all the things, and I felt like I don't have enough time to realize my ideas. Now I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it done one thing after the other. And that's what I did. I was at the time working on another crochet top. I can't even recall if you had seen the beginnings of this one. I do not think you have, but you've seen my finished crocheted top, and I decided I need to make another one, and I'm gonna put in the name of the video channel where I found the instructions. And so I did this one, and I cannot tell you anything about the yarn other than it's cotton yarn, and it's like ancient, and it's from Deep Stash, and you can literally use anything that you have and that you want to use, except for I would not recommend to use a woolen yarn because this is clearly a summer wear. And it's something that you would wear over a spaghetti strap top or a very light summer dress, or to the beach, whatever you, or if you are one of the younger generation, you might want to wear it to a nighttime concert, whatever. sky's the limit. Yes, so that was the first thing that, ooh, I think I just wiggled the table, I'm so sorry. So that was one of the early things that were finished. I had taken that on our trip. I did not finish it there, but another thing that I had already finished before the accident. Isn't it funny how time is structured into like before 9/11, after 9/11, before the accident, after the accident, before COVID, after COVID. Before the accident, finished on the trip, and I love how these turned out. These are double knit with the sock yarn, 2 strands of sock yarn held together. The way I love to do it, they're my size, about an 8.5, and yeah, I wear these around the house in winter, and I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. And what I usually do is when I make socks that especially with this one where I don't know how big they're going to be or how much yarn did I use and all of that, I want to keep track, and I try to keep track by putting the information into my little sock book, which I keep close to me on the sofa with all my most important notions, like needles for weaving and scissors and blah blah blah, stitch markers, don't forget, yes, all kinds of stuff. So that's my little sock notebook, and this is where I keep the notes. 4 times 12 stitches with 3.5 millimeter DPNs. That's what I did for these guys. Another thing that I had, actually I had prepared the next pack. This I also had taken to Colorado, but it never got started. So I'm keeping that kind of like ready for next time I'm up for socks. Something that you had also seen before I did it again before the accident, was the cardigan that I have been working on for my goddaughter. I have held throughout 2 yarns together, one of them being a Noro yarn and the other one being a fuzzy microfiber, very soft. I think I got most of these in Europe, Lana Grossa and other brands, but they're all leftovers, and I just grabbed them. I wanted to use up leftovers, and that's what I did. As you can see, I tried to match up the sleeves a little bit with the color sequence, not 100%, but overall it worked out. I did design it myself, but this is not hard. I mean, this is not really not difficult. You can use any free pattern on Ravelry and do whatever you want. I do want to tell you that I have used 5.5 millimeter needles, and but of course you could do it with anything, and I was just glad to be able to use up leftover yarns, and also I found these super adorable buttons, and I had gotten these from my mom. She had brought them from Germany a long time ago, and I was glad to use these. Yeah. So that's another, I feel like today is all about the finished things, but there's another project that I'm working on right now, and because it goes with that little cardigan for my goddaughter, I'm gonna pop this in between. And I am talking about the little dress that I make for my goddaughter. I designed a hat pattern the winter before last, and it's called the Desert Dancer, and I have used the stitch pattern from that hat for this dress. And it, in the end, because I just kept going and I did not do any planning or anything, it turned out bigger than I thought. And that's okay, because I had the yarn, and now I'm planning to, the plan is to turn it into a dress. But as you can imagine, this is like, it's just quite boring down here. So right now the plan is, what I've done since I picked it back up again, I try to knit 10 rounds per day. I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. I have one full skein of this lovely purple yarn, and this is Elizabeth Lavold Silky Wool in the color 123 Lilac. This is a lovely yarn. The content is 45 wool, 35 silk, and 20 nylon. And what I did for the contrast color in the yoke is I had purchased a skein of white and over-dyed it and speckled it myself to match that beautiful purple. Yep. So I do have the 2 sleeves to go, and I don't know, I'm not going to be too obsessed over the length. I'm probably just going to finish the bottom of the dress and then use that other skein for the sleeves and just go as far as I can. I mean, even if it's 3/4 sleeves, she may wear a shirt under it, who knows, and leggings anyways, I'm assuming. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turns out. It's going to be super cute. Yeah. And where to continue? Well, let's continue with the outline shawl, which is one that I have been working on for quite some time. And it's a pattern by Beata of Hedgehog Fibers. You can get the pattern for free on her website, and through Ravelry you get it brings you there if that's something that you are interested in. And like I said, it's free. I do need to tell you, none of my finished shawls are blocked because I'm still not comfortable bending over and working over the guest bed where I usually block. So, but it doesn't matter. It's not that important, but I'm really excited about this one being done. I have used 3.5 millimeter needles, and the yarn is all hand spun bits. And of course you could use any leftover hand spun yarn. I'm just so, I mean, any leftover yarn doesn't matter. It's just so fun to grab whatever you feel like at the time. I used fingering and light fingering bits and bobs, and I assume that this will still grow when it's blocked. And right now it is already bigger than my wingspan, And well, I will give you an update when it is blocked. Maybe a little bit. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. Maybe a few more weeks. Maybe until the next podcast I'll be able to show you. I, of course, have been working on my Desert Sun shawl, which is a pattern by Culabra Design. And it's a beautiful shawl that I decided we have to have a knit along. And if you would like to participate and be eligible to win something, I still haven't decided on what you can win. But if you're interested in participating, you must make a project page for your finished shawl on Ravelry to be eligible. And the knit along ends at the end of August. And then I will draw a winner. And I just love the pattern. And I think there were 2 projects or so at the beginning of the cal, and now you gotta go to the page on Ravelry. It's so nice. So many beautiful shawls that you can see there. So what I did is I knitted the shawl. I'm going to show you. And it's a great pattern where you are very flexible with the size. You can just keep going and make it humongous. And like for me, it's really big and it's not blocked. And I did 19 stripes, where I think in the pattern it's less, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just beautiful. You could make it, I'm curious to see how much it will still block out and grow in size. I used a bunch of my yarns and yarns from another dyer, and let me just show you the bag of the leftovers. It's not, yeah, that's okay, because I showed you in the previous, I should turn it around. I showed it in the previous episodes. You've seen it many times, but I did want to show you, I had my pattern printed out, but then also what I did was I created a page that I will keep in a binder that tells me what I did in regards to the colors, which yarns I used. So I used Vortex was the dark contrasting colors, and Storyteller, who sadly I don't think they dye anymore. That was another one that was Vintage Stash. But then I over dyed partial skeins to have a larger color variety, but also they're very much related, as you can see, all the colors. This one was a bit daring, but I thought it's very nice to pop in this stronger contrast, and I'm really happy with the look. Yeah, that is the Desert Sun. And if you still want to make one of these, it's a really simple and a quick knit. And if you say, oh hey, I'm going to join the knit along, go to Ravelry. You can find it on my project page. You can find the shawl. I am PAPERDAG on Ravelry, but then if you go to the page of the shawl, you can find all kinds of inspiration now, finally, for color choices, which I just really love. And that was the intent of the knit along, and you can easily still join in and finish your shawl by the end. You have a whole month by the end of August. Yes, and there's another shawl, believe it or not, and that I have finished, and I I'm talking about the Only Good Vibes by Melanie Berg. And I decided I wanted to make the shawl with ZiaWoolz Sugar Loaf. No news here, it's my favorite base that I carry. And these are the two colorways. One of them is called, why is it not written down here? Well, this color was Breathe Deep. It was a one-of-a-kind color. And the other one was Desert something? Desert Vibes. Okay, I thought so. Desert Vibes. So what happened was, I have to tell you that I just started knitting with these two colors because I thought they're going to be fantastic together. But then I knew from the get-go that it might be tight with the amount of yarn that I have, but I thought I'm just going to try. I have 540 yards per skein, and I thought it may be enough, or if it's not, I'm gonna figure out something. And so what I ended up doing, I had to dye for myself extra of the Desert Vibes, and I dyed a 50-gram skein. And I used another maybe only 10 grams or so, really not much, but really one skein of the light color was not enough. But it is done. I have not woven in the ends, but I just seriously, absolutely adore the muted turquoise, water blue, all in all look of the shawl. It is definitely Only Good Vibes with the Desert Vibes and the Breathe Deep. Yeah, let's see what I'm up for. I'm probably, once I'm ready to block this, I'm gonna weave in the ends. I always weave in my ends before blocking. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't, but that's the way I like to do it, because mentally I need to be done when it's blocked. So I don't want to start weaving in ends after blocking. That's just the way I roll. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break, and I'm not quite sure. I may actually upload this separately, and because these are, yeah, and then split it up into another episode, because like I said, my ability to focus is a little bit, it's not the best right now. So I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably going to split it up and edit separately, edit it into 2 videos. Well, I thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked what you saw, and I hope I will see you again in the next episode. Bye.